Charlotte parents possibly charged with murder after their infant dies from injuries consistent with abuse. We speak to neighbors and family about that fateful day. And 4 dead, more than 50 in the hospital after a massive tornado. We have the very latest on the search and rescue efforts happening right now in Texas. And the president marks his 100th day in office with a campaign-style rally. What he's promising when it comes to North Korea and health care. The news at 6 starts now.
This is WCNC, NBC Charlotte News.
First tonight, 2 Cleveland County parents in jail and possibly facing murder charges tomorrow after their 7-month-old daughter died from injuries she allegedly suffered at the hands of abuse. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Rachel Brown in for Xavier Walton. The baby was taken to the hospital earlier this month with broken bones and bleeding in her eyes and brain. Both of her parents were taken into custody shortly after. NBC Charlotte's Evan West joins us now from Cleveland County. Evan, you've been following this story since yesterday, and today you actually spoke with that child's grandfather. What did he have to say?
Well, Rachel, Ralph Kahn told us that the mother of the baby, actually Ralph Kahn told NBC Charlotte in a phone interview earlier today that the family is asking for privacy as the mother, Morgan Kahn, and the father, Stephen Dean, sit in a Cleveland County jail cell tonight. Now, Captain Joel Shores of the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department tells us that the DA is bringing murder charges to a grand jury tomorrow on both parents. Still, no formal charges have been filed just yet. We've also learned from new information that the baby was one of 3, a triplet. She has 2 brothers who are in DSS custody, and the triplets were 3 of 9 children living in this trailer just over a month ago. Now, the father, Stephen Dean, ran next door to Jenna Bowman's house whenever the incident occurred. The baby, of course, she had lost consciousness, and Bowman performed CPR on the 7-month-old until paramedics arrived. Bowman said the baby was in nothing but a diaper, but there were no obvious signs of child abuse. Now, Ann Weaver is one door down. She and her husband have lived on the street for 53 years, and they say it is the biggest tragedy they've seen on Rio Beth Church Road.
I just hope that justice is served for that precious baby that lost her life and didn't even get a chance, because that's what kills me. She didn't deserve to be treated that way. Nobody does.
Why a little baby? That just doesn't make sense.
Neighbors still coming to terms with just how a 6-month-old baby could lose their life just one door down. We're live in Cleveland County tonight. I'm Evan West for NBC Charlotte.
It's just heartbreaking, Evan. Thank you so much for that report. Now to a developing story. A local kindergarten teacher is accused of assaulting a student. Teresa Jackson was arrested and charged with misdemeanor assault on a child under the age of 12. According to a police report, Jackson allegedly grabbed a child's wrist and pushed a book into her chest. The assault happened at the Aristotle Prep Academy. That school is located at Christ Presbyterian Church in West Charlotte. The church's pastor told NBC Charlotte the school rents space from them. That school's lease ends in June. Following breaking news out of Texas, at least 4 people have died and 50 others are hurt after a massive tornado hit just outside of Dallas. This stunning new video of the twister just into our newsroom. A storm chaser shot this video showing the wedge-shaped tornado as it crossed an interstate. The city of Canton's mayor says the damage spans across 35 miles, and search and rescue teams have been going house to house looking for survivors.
The damage was extensive in the affected areas. I've just driven through some of it, and it is heartbreaking and upsetting, to say the least.
Our sister station in Dallas sent a chopper over the area to survey the damage. One of the hardest hit areas right outside of Canton near Wentworth. A line of damage from the tornado clearly visible on the ground there. Here's that report.
We are just over Highway 19, just south of I-20, and let me just show you what we've kind of stumbled on this damage here. Look at this little pocket here. It's not a little pocket; it's a very large pocket. I stand corrected. Look at this. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 homes in this area severely damaged. The worst 2 are the ones these 2 in the center of your screen. This one's totally obliterated. Just one big giant pile of debris. You can see sections of the walls kind of collapsed in, the rafters. Here's another one right next to it. Same thing. 3/4 of that house just totally flattened. And look at these trees kind of meshed together with all this debris just kind of tossed in a pile here. We'll zoom out and show you the rest of the houses just in these 5 pocket here. Totally damaged, debris strewn all about. You can see as I zoom out, show you that field of debris that it apparently just tossed. You can see this path went right across the highway, and following this debris keeps going. Don't get seasick. And here's another house that's damaged.
Those are just heartbreaking images. The system, you said, even could be heading our way. Is that right?
Yes, it is headed our way. Not going to be near as severe as out there. Thoughts and prayers to those folks out there, because that is just devastating to see. You know, it doesn't even look real on television. So a very serious situation in Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Louisiana, and Mississippi from last night into today. But tomorrow, it's our turn to deal with this system. Let's take a big picture look here of satellite and radar, the big swirl there in the center part of the country. That is the area of low pressure. That is the engine to this front right here. That's the culprit of all these storms. You can see storms lighting up mid-Tennessee right now into parts of Kentucky, headed our way tomorrow. Now, I do have a full detailed look. You see how low risk for storms tomorrow. The higher risk is actually further north of that system, but nonetheless, we're going to get a piece of it. This evening, really quickly, got to let you know about this quick shower here rolling through Uptown. I tracked this coming out of Lancaster. I said it'll be around Uptown at about 6 p.m. Numbers are sure warm enough to fuel those storms, so we're watching that shower roll into Uptown, but that's about the tone of tonight. Just sporadic thunderstorms and very isolated downpours. Tomorrow, a more widespread rain event. I'm going to give you your hour-by-hour forecast, and we'll talk about the impacts ahead. Rachel?
Sarah, thanks. Following breaking news out of Rock Hill now, four kayakers are recovering after a water rescue. This is video from the scene at River Park. We're told the call for rescue came in around 4:30 this evening. Rock Hill Fire got them out safely, and luckily no one was hurt. Also following breaking news out of North Charlotte, police are investigating after a man was shot. It happened off Ravencroft Drive around 3:30 this afternoon. Our crew on the scene tell us the shooting took place at the MLK neighborhood park near some picnic tables. CMPD says the victim does have life-threatening injuries. Once we find out more, we will pass it along to you. Right now, authorities in York County are still looking for a missing teenager. Take a good look at your screen. We're told 18-year-old Jamie Lee Marcus is considered at risk. She was last seen at her home on Twin Lakes and Mount Gallant Road around 1 o'clock Friday morning. Here's her photo one more time. Police say Jamie Lee is 5'6" and weighs about 105 pounds. They've gotten a few leads, but officers still need some more information. If you see her, call the York County Sheriff's Office immediately. President Trump marking his 100th day in office with a round of golf after a celebratory rally last night touting his first 100 days in office. The president today also making it clear he will not allow North Korea to continue growing its nuclear capabilities as the White House promises a health care bill will be passed. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has the very latest from Washington.
A trip to his Virginia golf course for President Trump after a celebratory speech Saturday night marking his 100th day in office.
We are keeping one promise after another.
The president chose the rally over attending the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner. On Sunday, Mr. Trump vowed to stop North Korea President Kim Jong-un's nuclear buildup while recognizing his ability to stay in power.
People are saying, is he sane? I have no idea. Obviously, he's a pretty smart cookie. But we have a situation that we just cannot let. We cannot let what's been going on for a long period of years continue.
Despite setbacks getting legislation passed, the president says he loves his job, and his team says a health care bill will pass.
Repealing and replacing Obamacare is just around the corner because this president is driving relentlessly toward an agenda to make America great again.
But Democrats are vowing a fight over that and the president's tax reform bill.
If you aim tax breaks at the middle class, we're fine with it. If you aim them at the very wealthiest who are doing very well so far, God bless them, that's not going to work.
No surprise to the president, who tweeted the Democrats have become the party of obstruction. The White House says its tax plan will spur economic growth, but could temporarily increase the deficit. This week, Congress needs to get a long-term $1 trillion spending bill passed or face a partial government shutdown by next weekend. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
We are not fake news, and we are not the enemy of the American people.
We gotta address the elephant that's not in the room. The leader of our country is not here. And that's because he lives in Moscow. It is a very long flight.
The president breaking with decades of tradition, skipping the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but the show went on with speakers defending the press and zinging the president. The event, usually a comical one, with the president sitting on stage as jokes are made at his expense. But this year, just highlighting the tense relationship between the administration and journalists, with Trump saying he gives the media a, quote, failing grade. CMPD is investigating after a man was shot at an apartment complex in East Charlotte early this morning. It happened on Pine Oak Circle right by Harris Boulevard around 1:30. We're told medic took the victim to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police haven't made any arrests just yet. Funeral arrangements for the corrections officer killed at an eastern North Carolina facility have been finalized. Sergeant Megan Callahan died after an inmate attacked her last week. This happened at the Birdie Correctional Institution in Windsor. Callahan has worked for the Department of Public Safety since 2012 and was promoted to sergeant just last year. Her funeral will be held on Wednesday in Edenton. Police in South Carolina working to figure out whether a high school security officer used excessive force when they pepper sprayed a student. This happened at North High School, just about 40 minutes outside of Columbia. According to police reports, the student was asked to turn off the music coming from his phone. The student followed the instructions, but then the music came back on. That's when a security officer allegedly approached that student, eventually spraying him. The details on what led up to that point are still not clear, and that's what police are working to find out.
The student then ran into a classroom, and other students in the area became exposed to the mace. They were not sprayed directly. One student was sprayed directly.
In a statement, the school district announced they've ended the contract with the security company that officer worked for.
Rain in Rock Hill right now. A few sporadic showers tonight, but a line of storms coming through tomorrow. I've got all the details you need to know for your Monday ahead.